I'm going to do what I've been avoiding on this channel for quite some time. I'm going to have to talk about myself. I don't think anyone, unless they're a total narcissist, likes talking about themselves. My name is Sean Armstrong. I was born on August 27th, 1968 in a little village known as Ilion, New York. You might remember Ilion better for the Remington Arms Company, more than for me being born there. My father was a farmer and a truck driver, and we had to move around a lot for him to find work. He had a neck injury and a back injury from the Army, and as soon as a company found out, he'd be let go. So in the course of my life, I attended 51 schools, some of them more than once. Of course, moving around a lot, being 130 pounds, soaking wet at the age of 18, there was a lot of bullying that went on, so I started training in the martial arts. My first martial art was judo at the age of 13. Now, in 2019, I moved to the beautiful country of Brazil to start a new chapter in my life. That's where I met my current wife, Sandra Armstrong, and we were married on July 15th, 2021. I've been an author. I've written 4 books, most on self-defense with firearms, long-range shooting, one on professional wrestling. Of course, I've written 1 ebook on Kenpo. I was a rhythm guitarist and a vocalist for a number of bands, as well as an acoustic career with a man named Sonny Frost. I was a staff sergeant in the United States Army, retired. What's a staff sergeant, you ask? A staff sergeant is an E6, just above sergeant and below sergeant first class. And that would mean a non-commissioned officer. I get my rank from the Department of the Army, and officers get their rank from Congress. I was a section leader in a heavy weapons infantry company, as well as a gunner on an M1 Abrams tank, which takes us into my longest job in the military, an M1 armor crewman. And the technical description of my job title was to work as part of a team to operate armored equipment and fire weapons to destroy enemy positions during combat. My role was to operate tanks and amphibious assault vehicles to engage and destroy the enemy. Then, of course, I mentioned infantry. I was a section leader and a platoon sergeant in Afghanistan in a heavy weapons motorized infantry unit. I was in armor for 12 years and infantry for 11. I was awarded the following medals: Afghanistan Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, Army Commendation Medal 3rd Award, Army Achievement Medal 5th Award, Army Good Conduct Medal, Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal 6th Award, National Defense Service Medal 2nd Award, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development Ribbon, Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, Armed Forces Reserve Medal with Device 2nd Award, NATO Medal, Combat Infantryman's Badge, Driver and Mechanic Badge with Driver Wheeled Vehicle Clasp, German Armed Forces Badge in Gold, New York State Long and Faithful Service Medal 5th Award, New York State Defensive Liberty Medal with a WTC device, New York State Medal for Merit, New York State Aid to Civil Authorities Medal, New York State Exercise Support Ribbon, Humane Service to New York State Medal. On September 30th, 2010, I retired from the military. Up until 2009, I ran a martial arts school in Cortland, New York, called the Dragon Kenpo Karate Academy. You can go back and listen to the video on history of Dragon Kenpo and Dragon Kenpo 2.0. I hold a 4th degree black belt in Dragon Kenpo 2.0, yellow belt in Sung Chung Taekwondo. I hold a yellow belt in Sangum Taekwondo, a white sash in Junfan Gung Fu Jeet Kune Do, a green belt in Koikan Karate Do. I studied military Hapkido and a brown belt in Judo. I won a bronze medal at the 2014 Koikan Karate Do Taikai for Kumite. I was a professional wrestler for East Coast Professional Wrestling. I was trained by Horace White. Ironically, I wrestled under the name The Perfect Weapon Sean Armstrong. I was a paranormal investigator, some people call us ghost hunters, on a TAPS team. If you remember this, the television show, you know what I'm talking about with TAPS, called Scientific Paranormal out of Syracuse, New York. For those of you who don't know about ghost hunting, it is the process of investigating locations that are reported to be haunted by ghosts. Typically, a ghost hunting team will attempt to collect evidence that they see as supportive of paranormal activity. I was the skeptic of the team. If I could debunk it, it didn't make it into the report. I was also the historian who looked up the history of the property and the people who live there. I'm a certified private investigator, or I was in the United States. In Brazil, I just have the certificate. In the United States, I was a master firearms instructor, hence why most of my books are about firearms. I was a certified executive protection specialist instructor level, and I actually did that job, which might be why I'm such a cynic. You kind of have to deal with a lot of idiots working at that job. I was a combat shooting instructor, which basically means I taught people about rifles, pistols, and shotguns. I explained and demonstrated weapon safety, firing position, sight picture, and alignment, breath and trigger control, and other fundamentals of marksmanship. I taught people about nomenclature, weapon disassembly, weapon operation, weapon stoppages, and immediate corrective action for small arms. I was a certified gunsmith. Basically, I could fix stuff when you broke it, which came in handy working as an executive protection specialist and working on the range. I always carried my toolbox with me. Like when you people throw in new parts to your firearm but can't figure out that if you change one thing, it might adversely affect another part of the firearm. I've attended a number of military schools, Basic Non-Commissioned Officer Course Phase 1, Basic Non-Commissioned Officer Course Phase 2, Primary Leadership Development Course, U.S. Army Armor School, U.S. Army Infantry School, U.S. Army Sniper School. I have 2 combat tours, one in Iraq, more specifically Ramadi, Iraq. If you know who Chris Kyle is, then you've heard of Ramadi, Iraq, and Afghanistan, from one end of that place to the other. That's pretty much my life in a nutshell. After combat and losing friends and family, and realizing how short life really is, I've tried to fit as much in as I can. No regrets. Basically, as far as martial arts, I've studied a bunch of different martial arts, and I've stolen from a bunch of martial arts, which is why my Kenpo doesn't look like your Kenpo. Everything from Jeet Kune Do, Kali, Krav Maga, modern army combatives, it's all in there. By the way, I was also a level 2 instructor in modern army combatives, so again, that's my life in a nutshell. It hasn't been dull. Remember, don't be a wolf. You might meet a sheepdog. And if you're a sheep, make a sheepdog your friend, or better yet, ask the sheepdog to teach you how to be a sheepdog.